You can just see my shiny, bald head. What do you say we get in a car and let's just go buy loads of fish and shrimp and everything? I'm gonna go for like some that I've never had before this time, to be honest. There we go. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the vlog. So behind me, the Amazon aquarium. You guys have seen me build it now. You've seen me plant it. You've seen me do everything. We've added our first fish in there, and now it's time to add more. So I'm going to take it a little step up and add quite a few more this time. I want to go for some 𝗂𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀. I want to go for a bit of a cleanup crew, so plecos as well. I might even get a ton of 𝗯𝘂𝗀𝘀𝗀𝗀 shrimp. Let's just go and get loads. Another school of fish as well, I think, because we've got one school of tetras. We've got the silver tip tetras in there at the moment. It'd be nice to get something completely different, different colours, you know, different colours, yeah. I'm not sure what else yet. We'll go and see anyway. I'm not none of this is planned. It's just, what should we get? Will it work? And let's do it. And to be honest, that's pretty much how I run this whole channel. And here is the tank. You can see the silver tip tetras there. Oh, there's about 1, 2, 3, 8 there. There should be 10, so there's normally a couple around that in that back duct. There's so many reflections. Let me fix that. 3, 2, 1. Now that is so much better. There we go. Like, you can barely see anything. You can just see my shiny, bald head. So yeah, the tank's looking great. If you look, it's got a slight hint to the water. I'm going to do a massive water change because I like to do that before adding any fish. Let's just get that drained halfway down, halfway back again really quickly. Overall, the tank is doing insanely well. It's one of the best setups I've ever done, to be honest, in terms of success straight off the bat. Look, already at that 𝗲𝘾𝗾𝗀𝗀𝘀𝗀, we've already got 2 sprigs, I guess we'll call them, 2 sprigs popping up, and then the hair grass that you can see the back there is actually spreading all the way into the foreground as well. You can see little tufts there and tufts there, and then it's the same story over this side. So this is 𝗲𝘾𝗾𝗀𝗀𝘀 as well, popping up in the bottom there. Oh, so good. Before you know it, this whole foreground section is just going to be full of plants, but I will keep an area that is just sand because that suits the Amazon look that I'm going for a lot better, in my opinion. Top plants. So we did this, was it last episode? I think it was, yeah. Anyway, so we put these in. They're doing fantastically well. That's pollen you can see on that leaf, yeah, coming from the flower. But the leaves are nice and rigid and firm, and that's always a good sign. It just means that they're not dying. But look at the size of the Monstera leaf now. It's actually going into the water. It's got huge. So nice. Once again, the LED floodlights really doing their trick here and just making everything grow crazy. I think I'm going to have to trim back some of this 𝗲𝘾𝘀𝘀𝗀𝘀 already, to be honest. I'm going to trim back, I think, the taller sort of leggy stems you can see. These ones are already reaching the surface. It's been a couple of weeks, guys. It's crazy. Same again on this side. I mean, these ones were already quite high anyway, but they've crept all the way to the back. So I went for 𝗲𝘾𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 instead of 𝗾𝗾𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 because it's just so much easier to grow. You don't need high light. It'll grow in shaded areas and then grow into the light, and just, you know, it's just, you just get better success with it, and it looks almost exactly the same anyway. But already I need to start trimming it back. 𝗲𝘾𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀, so they've got the 𝗲𝘲𝘾𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 at the back there. Is that the no, hang on, let me see what it is. 𝗲𝘾𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝑁𝑠 lupin. No. Oh, hang on. I've actually got one of them in this pot here. Put it up. What's it saying? 𝗲𝘾𝘀𝘀𝑅𝑒𝑝𝑒𝑛𝑠 There we go. And I've just realised I really need to skim this water on the top. It's just water. There's no filter in that, you see. It's just, I just put them in there to keep the plants alive temporarily. I'm going to sort that out shortly. Right, anyway, that is enough of an update. What do you say we get in a car and let's just go buy loads of fish and shrimp and everything? Let's do it. Click subscribe. I completely forgot the penguins as well. Penguin tetras, that might be a good shout. What do you reckon? A nice big school of them? So we've got loads and loads of tetras to choose from. I'm going to go for like some that I've never had before this time, to be honest, because I was just going to come in and get a massive school of what are they called? Rummy nose, but I've done that already, so I want to try something a little bit different and just have something different to look at for a bit. I will definitely get a big school of something as well, but for now I just want to stick to what we originally said. which was getting pockets of 10s. I think that'll just look really good for the time being and add a lot of interest. And then of course guys, not to forget the plecos. So we've got small bristle noses down here, which would be perfect. Some of you in the comments were saying that, you know, don't get plecos that eat your plants. That's not the case at all. If a pleco is eating your plants, it's because your plant's already dying. They won't chew away healthy plants. It doesn't work like that. Put that in. And hit it. I've tried doing this myself. It went horribly wrong. So I just got loads and loads of fish there for the Amazon tank. Safety first. So we're back from the shop now. I actually got more fish than I intended to. The original plan, remember, for me was to be able to get like 10 fish each week and add them in. Well, I just got about 30 plus some plecos as well. So I just went for it. You know what? I just want to see more action in this tank, like sooner rather than later. I'm so impatient, aren't I? But you know, it'll make a cool visual, won't it? Like seeing them all go in at the same time, exploring the whole tank. Oh, can't wait. Let's get them in. First of all, put them in to get the temperature acclimated. Lights off. Right, there we go. Right, the silver-tip tetras seem to think they're being fed. Some little territorial disputes, but the tank is plenty big enough for the guys to get into their own little areas, and they'll sort themselves out shortly. Maybe I should have fed them as well. I'll do that now. Okay, now there's all the food going around the tank. Look, everyone's leaving each other alone. Aggression dispersed. There we go, perfect. Much better. There's always going to be a little bit of a jostle. Now, you probably wouldn't want to keep these two fish together in a smaller tank because there's going to be some issues, but with something as large as mine and all these different territories they're going to create, it's going to be absolutely fine. Plus, we're going to have even more fish in there soon. Look at that, looks great though. I tell you what, the silver-tip tetras are great to feed. They're so fast. They just whip in all over the place really quickly. The X-rays are also starting to do the same as well. They're going to get more and more comfortable as time goes by, of course, because at the end of the day, it's only been about an hour ago they're in a completely different tanks, but looking really good. We've already got some cool little action going on. I love this. It's going to be perfect. It's going to work out absolutely brilliant. Right, next up, I want to put my plecos in there. I've got 3 nice, you know, just normal Ancestrus plecos, the same as what I've got here actually. Oh, he's right at the front, perfect. This is the better sorority tank, and that is the same pleco from the same shop, from the same bay, so he's really nice. Look at the colours on him. Gorgeous looking fish, isn't he? Love those colours, or lack of colour. Pattern is what I'm actually trying to say there. I love the pattern on him, so I've got 3 more of those to go in the new tank. Perfect, look at that straight away, down on the sand. Very shortly they will get onto the wood. There is actually some mulm starting to build up on the wood as well. Am I picking it up? Hopefully I'm picking it up, and you can see just the sort of fluffiness to it. They will just munch away and all of that in no time at all. Now, some people said don't get plecos for the tank, they'll destroy your plants. Trust me, they won't. These massive Amazon swords you can see there and there were actually grown in the tank with plecos. So basically, plecos will eat your plants if your plants are already dying. But if you've got healthy plants, that's not how it works at all. Like, they'll just munch off any sort of mulm, detritus, algae as well, if there's any on top of the plant. They won't destroy plants, trust me guys. Maybe they will if they get huge, but you know, that's why I went for the Ancestrus plecos, because they don't get big. Right, time for our last final bag. We have got a massive load of, I'm just going to put them in and you'll see. There we go. So we have got another 10 glow light tetra and another 10, or about 10, there's probably a few more actually, of the black neon tetras as well. Let me start getting some close-ups of all this. There we go, look at how cool they're all looking. Right, they're all going to be a little bit sort of freaked out by what's going on, but pretty soon we're going to start getting some sort of hierarchy, behaviours, oh, look at that X-ray tetra there right in the middle. Looks so nice. I've wanted the X-ray tetra for a very, very long time, and I saw them in the shop then. I was like, I have to get those. So they were actually my first pick, to be honest. But all of them, so cool. There's so much action now, look. Oh, I just want all the fish, just all of them. I mean, it's not going to be to everyone's taste. I understand that. You know, I understand that for a lot of people, they like to have like one big school of fish and then maybe a feature fish or like some rams and some plecos, and that's about it. But that's not it for me. I just think a tank should be exciting. For me, a tank should be bursting with energy, loads of stuff to look at. That's how I enjoy the hobby. For me, just a little school of something, swimming around a planted tank, nah, it's just not, it just doesn't do anything for me. I can appreciate how nice it looks, don't get me wrong, but for my own hobby, I want more than that. I want action. Okay, so it's now actually been 24 hours since I first put the fish into the aquarium. I want to see if there's any sort of change in their behaviour now they've been in there for that long. Probably not, let's be honest, because it's not that long time, but let's have a look. Okay, straight away, look, seems to be some little groups forming. So there's the glow lights in the middle of the screen. Hang on, let me take this white top off. Oh, no, I take that back. Look, they're all coming now. So there seems to be just one giant school and all the fish have just gone, let's be friends and are swimming together, which is actually really cool. I'm not going to complain about that. There's definitely no sort of fighting going on. Oh, that's one thing we need to check. Is there any dead? Because sometimes that can happen when you put a large school of fish in. You can get some fish floating around, trapped in areas possibly. But we seem to be okay. Brilliant. Okay, so no losses. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. You always tend to get a few losses when you've got a big group of fish going in. Awesome. Just look at how cool they look, just swimming across like that. One follows like a small group, and the small group seem to sort of disperse, and then a new leader gets formed, and then they'll all follow that one back. Okay, they're going to go back now. You're going to go back. Yeah, here they go. They're starting to go back. This is why big schools are cool to watch, because they just do their own sort of mesmerising movements across the tank. Oh, and look at this, absolutely perfect. The pleco look right in the wood, and that's another point. Look, all that mulm and fluff that was on the wood, like 90% of it, all completely gone already. That's why plecos are awesome. Bristlenose plecos anyway, for sure. I mean, I love the bigger plecos, but I just don't want something in a tank that's just gonna take over everything. That's not really what I'm looking for, but awesome. So he's found his own little cave there. Maybe out of the 3 that we got there, one will be a female, and hopefully we get some breeding going on. How cool would that be? I mean, he's basically got his own cave already to start, and you know, there's loads of little grooves and everything on this wood, which will be perfect. They love the wood, so I'm really happy we've got a nice setup for them. So I think ultimately, if you are into keeping fish and you want to see the best behaviour, you can try and do what I've done here and simulate an environment that replicates somewhat like their, you know, natural habitat. Obviously it's not exactly right, and I didn't try to be spot on perfect, because it can be quite restricting sometimes if you try and do that, you know, with the availability of what you can and can't get, etc. But that doesn't mean we can't try our best to create a really, really cool environment, and it's so fun to watch. I'm absolutely loving it and I cannot wait to add to it. What should I do next? What's the next fish? I think we've got to go for the big single school. So like, I reckon a big group of cardinals now, get those reds and those blues really popping in there, and that'll really make it just come to life even more. Because most of the fish we've got in there at the moment aren't massively colourful, so I think we need at least one big school of colourful fish. Look at this, pleco number 2 has turned up as well, awesome. That one's a little bit smaller. Oh, please let there be a male and female. I'd love to see some breeding action. I've never done that before with plecos or anything like that, so that'd be so cool, and I think you guys would really enjoy it as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button, click the like button, and I will see you on the next one.